Well guys, it is a hot and muggy day here in the Hoosier State, and I'm sweating. I've done walked about a mile so far, and the goal today was to come back in here and kind of target this new piece of public that has that stuff that I love, and that is water. This isn't like a boat area, but it's got the sloughy look to it, deep water mixed in with hardwoods and crops. And as I was actually heading back here to my destination, pinch point that I wanted to kind of look at, I actually jumped a deer off this peninsula, and I've got a great feeling it was a buck because I cut a good set of tracks over here heading to this crop field. And even as I started back that way, I stopped myself and thought, I'm overthinking it. So I turned back around, come back over here, found some pretty good sized droppings. I've lost them now, or I would show you guys, but there's beans over here, there's corn on further out in the field, and it's just one of them overlooked spots. So let me give you guys a rundown real quick. You can see this water right here pinches down pretty close to this crop field. You can see the trees right there are lagging. That's where the corner of the field is. This water pushes these deer close to this edge of the field. This is also close to the access trail. So most people would walk in and not even bat an eye at what's over here. And had this deer not jumped up, I probably would have walked right past it. But that's a good thing about scouting early season, is you get a chance to bump these deer and they come back. So as I investigated this area, I come across this old community scrape right here. And it's on a hickory tree, which is kind of odd, but there's no beech trees like what I normally find scrapes under. Plus in bottomland, you know, you're going to find them under oaks and walnuts and hickory. So I kind of went back in here, and I didn't want to push too hard. And I'm honestly trying to be as quiet as I can, because you can see there's water everywhere in all this stuff right here. And there's this high spot. And once you go over this high spot, hell, I'll just go over there. I'll find a snake here in a minute and scream like a girl. I thought maybe he was bedded up in this right here, and he very well could have been, but the water sounded kind of far off whenever he took off running. So that led me to believe this buck is using that island right there. And he is surrounded by water right now. This water is probably about 1.5 feet higher than it normally is, if I had to guess. Got a lot of rain, and it just looks awesome. This is the stuff that keeps me awake at night. I mean, even out in this stuff, like I can see a cedar tree out there. Like I know that this stays wet enough to just give them that feeling of security. But it's also, when it dries up a little bit, they can just, you know, browse and water and hide anywhere out in this crap. But when the water comes up, things like that right there is what they're looking for. The reasoning for this camera set over here is, one, because I found the tracks leading to that field. I know it's a bigger deer. I found the droppings. I found the bedding. And I'll show you guys this camera. Now there's an art to setting these cameras in spots like this. So if you're going to use water to pinch these deer down, you've almost got to put the camera on the edge of the water. So he's coming, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. He might hit this licking branch over here. And I wanted to put the camera on that tree. That would have been a mistake, because any deer in the world could have seen the camera or whatever, the camera shot, and they went right behind it. And that's why I've got this Tasco right here watching this scrape over here, but also kind of keeping it to where they can't go behind the camera. I mean, they obviously can. They can always find a way, but they're less likely to do it. And I've got it kind of brushed in from people coming on this access trail over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure date's correct. There we go. 3:26. 15 seconds. Format. Yes, and I'll tell you the reason why you want to do this right here is after it's taken a bunch of pictures of you walking around making these silly YouTube videos. If somebody was to come along and pull your SD card and check it, they're gonna be like, oh, that's where that idiot hunts. And then they're gonna know. So I feel really good about this setup. Just a real quick video for you guys, and hoping it produces, and just really a testament just to not overthink crap. Now there's a very good chance I'll come back in 2 months and pull this card and have a doe and a fawn using this thing every single day. And if that's the case, at least I've learned something. But there it is. Oh yeah, there it is. That's a big fawn. As you can see right where they've been crossing this log, going right over there to that field, and of course my camera won't adjust, which is fine. I'm gonna get out of here, be back in a couple months to check this camera. Pretty excited.